Good morning, everybody. Hey, I just came back from a 5-day break. Awesome. I got into the North Little Rock yard last Wednesday evening, and it's Tuesday morning now. So yeah, I had 5 days off. Awesome. So I was going to explain kind of how that works. You know, when I arrived here last Wednesday, I had a load that I'd picked up in Fort Smith going to Dryden, Michigan, and over the weekend they repowered that load, they call it, and assigned it to another driver who picked it up and took off so he could make the delivery appointment, which was sometime Tuesday, I believe. So you know, I left the paperwork for that load and a list of equipment, you know, chains, binders, straps, all of that was on the load in the tarp box, so the driver that picked it up could leave the equipment on my truck. Because at this point I don't have a trailer. I'm just bobtailed here sitting at the North Little Rock yard, and I've moved all of my personal, you know, food, clothing, supplies, all that stuff over into the big truck, and I've put away my equipment, and I've sent in my ready to roll form so that Maverick knows I'm here, I'm ready to go. Just waiting to see, you know, if I'm going to repower some other trailer that's here, or have to get an empty trailer from the shop and go somewhere and get loaded. So that's where we are right now. I did talk to my fleet manager yesterday, and he told me that they had a couple of trucks in the shop here, and that I might get assigned one of those, you know, to repower a load for a truck that's in the shop. So we'll see. Anyway, I'm just waiting to see what I do. I'll update you when I know something. Okay, folks, Paperboy back at you. I stopped at a rest area here. I found my load at the North Little Rock yard. Picked up the trailer and the load. It goes to Byhalia, Mississippi, and had to stop by the equipment barn, pick up a couple of things that were missing off the trailer. Stopped and got fuel. Got a few miles down the road, and the fleet manager called and asked me if I tarped this load, or if the load was tarped. You know, I picked it up from another driver. I said no. And he said, well, I told that other driver it was supposed to be tarped yesterday, and he didn't tarp it. So he asked me to stop when I got a chance and tarp it, and he would pay me for it. So I've done that. I stopped at the first rest area I came to, and I'm fixing to hop out and tarp it. But I want to show it to you real quick. It's a load of roofing shingles. So I've never tarped a load of roofing shingles. I don't really understand why they would need to be tarped, but maybe the customer has requested it. Regardless, you know, the fleet manager has asked me to tarp it, said it has to be tarped. So anyway, this is it, and I'm gonna jump on this real quick, throw a couple of tarps on it, and get on down the road. Update you later. All right, guys, got that tarp job done. Man, I want to tell you, one of those tarps is ripped so bad, it's embarrassing. I mean, it's got like a 3-foot rip in the tarp, so hopefully I don't get in a situation where it's really important that the tarp protects the load. And I hope I can get back through the North Little Rock yard sooner the better, so I can swap that out. Oh yeah, you know, you run into that sometimes when you swap trailers or pick up somebody else's trailer. You know, you don't know what the tarps are like. You know, the only way to know is to unroll them and got this load tarped. I got about an hour and a half or more, a little more to go. But anyway, the load is tarped. Headed to Mahalia, Mississippi. All right, later. All right, guys, just finished that delivery there in Mahalia, Mississippi, and they sent me into Memphis now to get another load of roofing shingles at a Owens Corning plant. I have not been to this place before, so it'll be a new place for me. And it goes to Krugerville, Texas. I have not looked that up to see where it is exactly, but anyway, I've got about 35 more minutes to drive, assuming the traffic's okay. And I just wanted to comment, you know, there was some confusion about whether that load of roofing shingles I've just delivered needed to be tarped or not. You know, the work instructions and the fleet manager told me it needed to be tarped, although the driver I had picked this load up from had not tarped it, and I've never had to tarp roofing shingles before. The work instructions and the fleet manager said it needed to be tarped, so I pulled over at a rest area on the way to the customer and tarped it. He said he paid me the $35 tarping fee. No big deal. But when I was making the delivery, I asked the guy there, you know, in the receiving department, you know, if it needed to be tarped. I said, you know, there was some confusion about whether it needed to be tarped. He said, no, they don't need to be tarped. He said, the roofing shingles, we just take them off the truck and set them out here in the yard. You know, they're outside all the time. They don't need to be tarped. So I called the fleet manager and gave him that information. You know, I'm not sure where the instructions to tarp generate from. Maybe it's someone in the purchasing department at the, you know, involved with the customer that asked for it to be tarped. You know, I don't know. You know, if it needs to be tarped, it needs to be tarped. You know, I'm not going to argue about it if I'm told to tarp it, but it seems a little bit strange that those instructions were there, is what I'm saying. I've never had roofing shingles before that had to be tarped. In fact, the load I'm going to pick up now of roofing shingles, different company, different shipper, different receiver. The instructions on it say no tarp. So anyway, that's kind of weird and interesting. So anyway, you do what they say is the bottom line, you know, because you don't know exactly what all has been requested and who requested it. You know, it's easy for me to say that it's silly to tarp that load, it's roofing shingles, but maybe somebody that was involved with placing that order and setting that order up paid extra for it to be tarped. You know, I don't know. So, you know, I'm not going to disregard the instructions to tarp it, especially after my fleet manager has called me and asked me to tarp it. You know, I'm not gonna say I tarped it and then not tarp it, or refuse to tarp it. You know. Anyway, enough of that. On my way into Memphis. Well, folks, I've made it here to the Owens Corning plant in Memphis, and I'm waiting for the shipping department to call me back. I've checked in, but there was some confusion about my order. On my instructions, I have that the delivery location is in Krugerville, Texas, but the shipper has it as Aubrey, Texas. So I had to call fleet manager and confirm that we're talking about the same place. Turns out the towns are very close together and the street address is the same, but the shipping department wanted to know, you know, confirm that we got the right customer. So anyway, he's supposed to be calling me back to tell me where to pull into or back into for loading. So I'm still waiting, and looks like I'm going to be wet. Oh, there he is calling now. All right, people, I got that load. I think what I was about to say when the shipping office called me back is that it was raining a lot. Had to get the old rain boots out and got a little bit wet. But it stopped for now. I just crossed over from Memphis into Arkansas. I think I'm going to try to make it to the North Little Rock Maverick yard tonight. That'll be about 2 hours. And then I'll get up and hit the road in the morning, probably around 4 a.m. That'll leave me about 6 hours of driving to go. This place I'm going to is north of Dallas. So anyway, yeah, I had a little confusion back there with the order, just because the shipper had it as a different town than what was on my work order. But anyway, we got it worked out. It caused about a 15-minute delay, but overall that wasn't a bad load. Okay, guess that's it for now. All right, guys, just a quick update. I've made it to the North Little Rock Maverick yard. I'm just going to stay here for the night and then head out probably around 4 in the morning, get to my Texas delivery. But got a couple things I wanted to do. I've got my signed bill of lading, 2 pages, for my delivery I did earlier today, and I'm going to scan it in so that it gets to Maverick and they can do their billing and whatnot. So it's real easy. You just go into the Maverick app, and there is a thing here, hopefully you can see it, that says scan documents. So I'm going to go in there, I'm going to hit take photo, and then I'm just going to take a photo of it. It gives me the opportunity to say, yeah, it's a good photo, use the photo, yes, I'll accept it. And gives me all these different choices: bill of lading, other, weight ticket, a receipt, border crossing. It's a bill of lading. And then next, and it asks you to punch in your the order number for it, which I will do real quickly. And then I do have a second page, so I'm going to say add page, and then I can do the same thing with this second page. Take photo, use photo, next, and then you get to this part, and I'm done with all my pages, so I'm going to put send all, and it's sent those pages, and it gives me a confirmation number. So that's all you got to do there when you're sending in your paperwork. Sometimes I'll send it in if I have time, right after I make the delivery, but if not, I'll send it in whenever I get parked for the night. Okay, so that's how that works. All right, I also wanted to show you, or mention a couple of things. I pulled into the supply barn over there because the tarps that I got with this trailer this morning, I stopped earlier and had to tarp that load of shingles, and one of the tarps was terrible. One of them was bad and one of them was terrible. So I caught the supply guy over there just in time before he left and was able to swap out those tarps, which I greatly appreciated. And he also gave me a roll of this new vinyl repair tape. We used to have glue and vinyl kit, that had glue and pieces of vinyl, you know, you could cut and stick on the tarps, you know, if you needed to do a repair. But this tape they've been experimenting with for, he said, about a year, and it's going to be much easier to use and probably going to work better, and maybe people will fix their tarps more often. But anyway, wanted to mention that and then show you a quick view of this load. He also did an equipment audit on me, you know, where he goes into my box here and checks to make sure I got the right amount of everything: chains, binders, straps, edge protectors. And I think I had 3 extra 4-inch straps, so he took those, and I had 1 extra edge protector. Everything else was good. So you know, that's the second time I've had an equipment audit, which, you know, I understand why they do that, no problem. All this stuff costs a lot of money. So here's my load of shingles, very similar to what I had earlier today, except the one I had earlier today had in the middle, it just had 1 pallet. This one has 2 pallets all the way through the load. So the way we do this is, you know, the front pallet gets 2 straps and a trip chain. You know, you see these loads going down the highway a lot, and most people don't put the trip chains on, but the Maverick, the way Maverick has taught us, you're supposed to have a trip chain on the front or the back. Some guys will put cross straps on the front, which works also. But then all the other rows get one strap, and you know, they don't like us to tighten these down too tight because it'll smash that top section of roofing. So, you know, you just want it snug, not super tight. And then got a trip chain in the back. You can see it's been raining a lot today. And you know, same thing on the other side. But anyway, that's the load. Be delivering this in Texas. I think it's Aubrey, Texas, north of Dallas. But you know, I've toured the North Little Rock Maverick yard in previous videos, but here's you a quick shot. You know, here's the training barn. Very nice facility. You know, if you come to Maverick, you'll spend the better part of 2 weeks in there, either in the classroom training or in the securement training bay. Very nice facility. You got some other drivers parked over here, and over there is the shop. Over there is a truck wash and the equipment barn, I call it. And then over there in the distance, if you can see a few trucks parked over there in the distance, that's the Maverick Driving Academy. So if you come here to get your CDL, you'll be doing a lot of work over there. If you come to Maverick and you already have your CDL, you'll skip that part and come straight into the training building. So all right, that's it for today. We'll see what tomorrow brings. Paperboy out.